Why do so many families struggle with debt, even with all this technology? Back in the 1980s, people handled money without endless stress, even through high prices and wild interest rates. What habits kept them steady, and can they work today? You might be surprised at what a little 80s discipline can do right now. When pensions faded, 401ks became the lifeline. If you jumped in early, imagine working for decades knowing retirement is promised, a check for life, as steady as the sunrise. But in the 1980s, that safety net starts to unravel. Employers cut back, markets change, and suddenly everyone hears about a new idea, the 401k. This new account feels strange. At first, just managers and office staff sign up. Most ignore it, thinking that's for executives. But then word spreads about co-workers doubling or tripling their savings by the end of the decade, just by letting payroll set aside money before they ever see it. By 1989, over half of medium and large private firms offer some type of defined contribution plan. People who join early catch years when the S&P 500 returns more than 15% annually. Those automatic deposits add up fast, especially when employers match a piece. Households who once relied on company pensions now see real power in owning their future, even if it means more risk and responsibility. This shift changes how people view money. Saving comes first, and the habit spreads beyond retirement. People start searching for safe places to park every extra dollar, and the hunt for yield begins. Emergency savings earned interest. If you knew where to park your cash, picture inflation eating away at your hard-earned money, month after month. In 1981, the average inflation rate tops 10%. You leave cash in a savings account and feel it shrinking. But then banks compete for deposits, and 3-month CDs pay up to 18% annual interest. Suddenly, ordinary folks become mini investors. Families stack CDs at local banks, building ladders so some cash matures every few months. Money market funds, brand new to most people, let them earn a high yield and still write checks if disaster hits. Even $500 tucked away grows meaningfully, sometimes doubling in 5 years. People talk about their rainy day fund like it's an investment portfolio. This decade teaches a powerful lesson. Cash isn't just for emergencies. It's a working part of your finances. Choosing where to park your savings makes a real difference in daily life, not just on a spreadsheet. But as people get smart about earning interest, they learn those same numbers can hurt if they're on the wrong side, especially on a piece of plastic in your wallet. 20% credit card rates were not rare. So many families treated plastic like fire. In the 1980s, credit cards felt fresh and modern, but there's a catch. Typical rates run 18 to 20%. One slip, and interest builds like wildfire. Banks mail out pre-approved cards, and the temptation is everywhere. Some people fall into the trap. Just $1,000 on a card can turn into $2,000 in a few short years if you only pay the minimum. A 1987 magazine ad even brags no annual fee, but the fine print lists a 19.8% West APR. Families who live through double-digit inflation understand fast that high-interest debt can eat a paycheck before you know it. Many set strict house rules, pay in full every month, or cut up the card. Some hide their cards in a drawer. Others only use them for emergencies. The story spreads. One friend tells another how a single missed payment grew into hundreds owed. People get creative, pay cash for groceries, save the card for travel, and always check the statement. The 1980s drill in a message that sticks. Let interest work for you, not against you. And as families fight high prices, they discover a new kind of savings. One you clip, stack, and mail in for a reward. Couponing was not a hobby. It was how you fed a family during inflation. Walk into any 1980s kitchen on a Sunday morning, and you'll see the ritual: newspaper spread wide, scissors ready, and someone sorting coupons. Groceries just keep climbing. A pound of bacon jumps from $1.40 in 1980 to $2.22 by 1989. Even milk gets pricey. That's why families get creative, hunting double coupon deals or mailing in box tops for rebates. Stores compete, offering double and even triple coupon days. Shoppers swap tips. Shop at Kroger on Wednesday, or stack the rebate with the in-store sale. People track how many boxes of cereal it takes to earn a rebate check, sometimes waiting 6 weeks for a $5 payout. That small win might mean gas for the week, or new school supplies. These little moves add up, turning what looks like pennies into a few $100s a year. But couponing does more than stretch money. It builds a habit of planning, looking ahead, and playing the long game. This mindset helps when bigger bills come, like the house payment, which leads to another lesson from the era. When interest rates finally fall, you need to act fast. Mortgage rates finally fell, and the smart homeowners refinanced at the perfect time. Imagine signing for a 30-year mortgage in 1981 with a 16% interest rate, higher than some credit cards today. People sweat over those numbers. For a $100,000 home, monthly interest alone can eat $1,300. A lot of folks rent or delay buying. But by the mid to late 80s, the landscape shifted. Interest rates slide under 10%. News spreads fast. You can cut hundreds off your monthly bill by refinancing. Homeowners hustle to banks. Stories run in the local paper. We refinanced from 15% to 9% and saved $400 a month. That money buys braces, new tires, or finally gives breathing room to start saving again. Some pay down extra each month, knowing a dollar saved on mortgage interest is worth double anywhere else. The refinance boom turns old contracts into fresh starts. But it also teaches families to watch the economy. When the environment changes, you can rewrite your own rules. While some celebrate lower payments, others look for new ways to build wealth straight from their paycheck. Your company stock plan was not a throwaway perk. It was your shot at wealth. In the 1980s, companies started offering employees a piece of the action, literally. Employee stock purchase plans and company stock in 401ks become standard for millions. Suddenly, the average worker has a shot at building wealth with every paycheck, not just their salary. Some see risk. What if the company tanks? But others watch shares climb, especially in the 80s bull market. Imagine putting $50 from each paycheck into a stock plan and watching it double or triple by the end of the decade. One Ford assembly worker later said, "That stock paid for my daughter's college." These plans turn work into ownership. You're not just punching a clock, you're a small partner in the business. This shift encourages people to stick around longer, think about the company's future, and diversify over time. And while people grow their savings in new ways, they also start managing their budgets in a place nobody expected, on the family computer. Budgeting left the kitchen table and moved onto floppy disks. By 1983, a strange new sound enters American homes, the whir of a floppy disk loading Quicken or Microsoft Money. For decades, budget meetings meant paper, pencils, and envelope systems. Now, families key in every paycheck, every bill, and see the math appear on glowing green screens. One family in Cleveland prints out weekly spending charts on a dot matrix printer and tapes them to the fridge. People experiment. Should we add $30 more to savings this month? What if we put $50 extra toward the mortgage? Kids get involved too, learning about money as they help track grocery spending or tally up the electric bill. By 1987, over 1 million Americans were using home finance software, a number that doubled in just a few years. But envelopes stick around for cash categories like groceries and gas, keeping folks honest when temptation calls. Combining digital tracking with old-school discipline, households get a bird's-eye view of every dollar. Suddenly, you see where money leaks out: restaurant splurges, impulse gadgets, small fees. With new tech, you can pivot fast. As families watch every penny on screen, many realize they need extra income to close the gap and turn to a familiar American pastime for help. Garage sales and classifieds paid the bills and sometimes covered rent. Every Saturday, neighborhoods come alive with folding tables, homemade signs, and rows of childhood treasures priced to move. In the 1980s, garage sales explode into the mainstream. The Los Angeles Times calls it the American way of life. For many families, this is no weekend hobby. It's survival. A single sale can bring in $200, which might pay the utility bill or put gas in the car for weeks. Classified ads grow thicker, packed with offers for everything from used cars to furniture. People phone strangers, haggle in driveways, and leave with cash in hand. Some families get creative. One Chicago dad tells the Tribune he bought school clothes each fall with the money he made flipping lawnmowers. Teenagers join the hustle, selling bikes, comic books, and old stereo gear to cover movie tickets and dates. For every sale, there's a small thrill. Maybe this box of junk is someone else's treasure. These side hustles teach a lasting lesson. Before you take on debt, ask what you can turn back into cash. This extra income often covers gaps, emergencies, or even vacation plans without ever reaching for a credit card. But as families get creative about income, they also get strategic about cutting their biggest bills, especially energy costs. Energy upgrades were about saving money, and tax breaks sweetened the deal. Heating and cooling costs in the early 80s drained budgets, especially after the oil shocks of the 1970s. Congress responds with the Energy Tax Act, offering credits for insulation, storm windows, and better heating systems. By 1980, nearly 5 million Americans claim the residential energy credit. One couple in upstate New York tells a local paper their $1,500 insulation job saves them $250 a year in heating oil, plus a $300 tax break. Families replace drafty windows, wrap water heaters, and add attic insulation. Kids remember crawling through itchy fiberglass. Parents brag about the lower gas bill in January. Handymen and contractors see a boom in business, fueled by homeowners desperate to cut long-term costs. People keep careful records. How much was spent, how much was saved, and what the tax break delivered come April. Sometimes the payoff takes a few years, but most agree the comfort and peace of mind are worth it. Energy-saving projects shift family thinking. Spend smart once, save every month. That practical approach carries over to bigger financial decisions, especially when it comes to borrowing for home improvements. Home improvement loans focused on what mattered: structure, safety, and staying power. By the mid-1980s, banks push home equity loans hard, but families see them as a tool, not a ticket to remodel for style points. When a roof leaks or pipes freeze, parents remember that one burst pipe in 1985 could mean thousands lost. So most loans go to fix what keeps the house safe: wiring, insulation, roofs, and heating systems. Contractors get busy, but realtors warn against spending on showy upgrades that don't add value. Families treat their house like the anchor of their finances, not a piggy bank for new kitchens or hot tubs. In Cleveland, a banker tells customers, "Put your money where it keeps you dry and warm." Equity is sacred. It's rare to see a new loan used for luxury. Necessity rules the day. When interest rates fall, families sometimes roll those loans into their mortgage, trimming payments and freeing up cash for actual needs. This practical approach shows debt can be smart when it protects what you own. It's about surviving, not flexing. And when it comes to splurges, most people hold out for a special payday, a lesson many wish stuck around. Big purchases waited on bonuses or refund checks, not credit cards. In the 1980s, nobody talked about points or rewards. Instead, families wait for real cash to come in. Tax refunds, bonuses, sometimes even profit-sharing checks from a good year at the factory. That's when the fridge gets replaced, the TV upgraded, or the family finally books a trip to see relatives. Tax refund season is almost a holiday for working-class neighborhoods. Appliance stores run sales in March and April, knowing shoppers have their IRS checks in hand. Some families tuck their bonus into a savings account, using it as a buffer for back-to-school shopping or car repairs later in the year. This slow and steady rule shapes habits. People plan ahead, talk openly about big buys, and avoid taking on new bills they can't guarantee to cover. When windfalls land, families celebrate, without adding monthly headaches. And when they spend, they look for value that lasts, not flashy trends that fade before the receipt gets cold. People bought sturdy, not trendy, because things had to last. Take a walk through a 1985 Sears or J.C. Penney, and you'll see the best-selling items are built to take a beating. Washing machines come with 10-year warranties, furniture is solid wood, and car ads brag about steel frames, not just shiny paint. Families remember their parents' warnings. Cheap things break, and repairs cost more over time. The high cost of replacements, combined with rising interest rates, pushes families to choose quality over style. Consumer Reports guides decisions, with readers sharing tips on which brands last. Buy it once, fix it forever becomes a mantra in many homes. Some folks even buy used or reconditioned appliances for half the price, then repair them with parts from local hardware stores. This mindset limits lifestyle creep. Kids wear hand-me-downs, furniture stays for decades, and nobody feels embarrassed about using something patched or repaired. Buying sturdy stretches every dollar, helping families weather layoffs, inflation, or surprise bills. All these choices, big and small, leave a lasting message. In a decade full of temptation and risk, respecting your money and making it last can outlast any trend or economic storm. Stories like this don't wait around. Click the next video on your screen right now before it disappears, because another lesson, another surprise, is waiting for you just one click away.